Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1641. Hello, I'm Mike Matthews broadcasting from... My pen is dead! 1641. Basically, I just wrote the entire script for the show, and I found out my pen was dead, so now I can't read my script. And that's how today's show is going so far, but I feel uplifted by knowing that there's so much in store.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster, all going to stop by. It's going to be great. And we're going to talk like
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Like with that kind of accent. And I hope you are loving it.
I'm loving it.
That's make you want to quit when you eat those kind of things that come from a fast food restaurant. You are going to not be singing because you'll have heart plaque and you'll die.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And that will be the end of you. And then we'll play this little bugle song for you.
Mike's
Daily
Podcast.
That may not be it. No. Well, I had a bugle song. But anyway, it's not important. That's as close as I'll get to... How about this? There we go. So beautiful. Okay, that's the kind of day so far it's been. It's a Tuesday. And people are walking in. Hi, Mark. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How you doing? I brought my horse, Nilly. Nilly sounds different today. She's got a cold. Now she feels better. Oh, that's good. Look who else is here.
Hello, Mike. This is the Disgruntled Fiddle.
Wow, I can't even understand what he's saying. Does he have a cold? Yeah, Mike, he's got a little bit of a cold. Look who else walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the delicious fruit pasta right now. Oh, boy.
Excellent. Thank you. Try some of that, Disgruntled Fiddle Player.
Yeah, I feel a little bit better now, thank you. I was feeling a little sick, but now I feel good like a lion. Tell you what.
What?
That's about it.
Oh, okay. Hey, this has been a requested Basil sound effect. Isn't that great? He had a lot to say there.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Monsanto is no longer Monsanto. The name is gone. Bayer, the German company that makes the Bayer aspirin and all that, and they've got a huge factory out in Berkeley. They bought Monsanto and they dropped the name because the name is so synonymous with genetically modified everything, and people are just get rid of Monsanto. Neil Young did a whole anti-Monsanto campaign during his tour that he did, 2 years ago? Hey, he was throwing seeds all over his stage. But the podcast picture today is not about that. It's about the car situation right now. Probably where you live, even if you are not in the Bay Area, you are experiencing graduation traffic. Graduation gridlock. Wait, I didn't do that right. Graduation gridlock. It's bad. Hello, I'm Ted Couple, and we're taking a look at the bad situation we have with graduation gridlock.
Ted Couple talked more like that.
But, okay, so the thing is, yesterday, I look at my GPS Google map thing, and I go, okay, Google, and it responded to me, and I said, I want to go home, and it goes, oh, you'll be home in like 28 minutes, which is a record for me. That's fast, especially in the middle of the afternoon. So I go, excellent. So I'm driving home, That's
not even funny.
And suddenly I go, Costco, go! So I veer off to the I take my car and I veer to the left, and then I veer to the right, and then I veer to the, and then I back up, and I end up at Costco and I go buy a bunch of stuff that I need, healthy things. I run into one of my neighbors and they go, "Mike, wow, you have a lot of food," and I said, "Yep." And I buy a lot of stuff. Now that my roommate's gone, I got a little more extra room in the fridge. And so I'm big on inventory in the fridge. What did you put in the fridge? Like, for example, I know right now in my fridge are 2 artichokes that my neighbor up the way named Jing Jing, who grows a bunch of stuff in her front lawn, her front yard area. She's got a garden going on. And artichokes grow great in the Bay Area. Who knew? And she gave me a couple when I was walking by with the wonderful Basil the Boxer sound effect now. And then she gave me a couple of these artichokes, and I have them sitting in my freezer right now, and I know that they're there, and I need to get rid of them. Isn't that a fascinating fact? So I will at some point eat those. But the thing is, my neighbors are telling me that their kids are graduating high school Thursday, and that is just amazing, because I remember them being these tiny little kids when I first moved into the house, and now they're about to set off to college, and one of them has a soccer scholarship at University of Las Vegas, and I'm so happy for them. Yay. Can we get a little bit of applause for them now? Okay, that's good stuff. Then I proceed to set off for my house from Costco, and it was bad. There was a lot of traffic.
Oh yeah, how much? A lot.
And I was stuck in the bumper to bumper to bumper for a good 20 minutes. I know some of you may be going, that's not bad, Mike. A little bit of traffic. No, this was horrid. And I figured it out. It's because the schools are all letting out early, and students are done, and the kids are out on the roads now, and it's bumper. So graduation gridlock. There you go. That's what I dealt with yesterday. And I hate this pen. I just threw it across the room. We're gonna go live. Graduation gridlock. The point is that I shout a lot on my show.
Busted eardrums.
And that's how it goes. But the thing is that Tom Poppa, hi, this is Tom Poppa, out in America. He does this thing on Chris Thiele's NPR show. I think it's from Minnesota Public Radio. It started with the whole Garrison Keillor thing and Prairie Home Companion. Chris Thiele took it over when Garrison retired, and now Garrison's name has besmirched the whole brand because there was sexual harassment allegations against him, and now Chris Thiele has renamed the show Live From Here. So Tom Poppa does this segment called Out in America, where he is talking about these little excursions he's done in his many times talking. He does the, what do you call it?
Correspondent Tom Poppa in a segment we call Out in America.
Thanks, Chris. This week I returned to my beloved New York City. I was greeted by gale force winds whipping frigid air down the avenues and into my face.
Tom Poppa, he's probably around my age, and he wears these pinstriped suits. So Tom Poppa's big claim to fame was Seinfeld wanted to get back into TV after the success of Seinfeld, and he did this show called The Marriage Referee, and Tom Poppa was the host of the show, and it was going to be huge. And Seinfeld, being Seinfeld, had all these friends that he had on the show, like Alec Baldwin. He had tons of celebrity panelists show up. The show didn't last too long because it was just too difficult to make. You can't get the celebrities to show up all the time, and etc. So Tom Poppa, I don't know, he just continued to be on the comedy trail. And so at some point during his thing that he does every week, he'll say, you ever had the experience where you're falling asleep and you...
During shots. He wouldn't tell me what was in them, but they tasted like an angry Texas snake. Have you ever had so many shots with a couple from Dallas that you found yourself in a contest to see who could walk the farthest through the Holland Tunnel? I have.
Okay, so that's how it works. He says, have you ever da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and something ridiculous that usually has to do with alcohol. His stories, the guy must be a raging alcoholic because he always has a story about getting drunk and winding up somewhere. Like the one I heard last weekend, he's in Boston, he winds up drunk, and he gets on one of those duck boats, those tour boats that drive on land. They freak me out. And then they turn into boats. They freak me out. I've never been on one. There's some around San Francisco. I think there was a bad accident with one in San Francisco, which totally is unsurprising because they're huge and just clunky, big, scary things. They're like buses, but they're boats. What are they? Stop it. Be one thing or the other. Quit with your hybriding. So Tom Poppa does that, and I'm telling you now, this is not sustainable. This cannot continue on. First off, if you're watching this on YouTube, he looks so bored doing this 5-minute segment. He looks like I've done this a million times. How many times can I tell the same joke where I'm drunk and I wake up with some couple from Minnesota? Name some small town in Illinois. That's what he does. So, my lovely lady friend, who I can't put enough lovelies in front of lovely, it'd be LLLLLLLLLLF. Yo, that's Albert. Yo, woo, word up. It's the code word. No matter how you say it, you know you will be heard. So she has taught me a new word called ebullient. And that's going to be the word for today's show. She told me I was ebullient. Is that not the nicest, most romantic thing anyone has ever done for me? Ebullient. Calling me ebullient. That is so freaking nice. Thank you. I am ebullient. That's why I should call this podcast ebullient. So thank you. Boo. And then Trump and Macron apparently had a very bad discussion. This is terrible. Terrible. That this should happen. I mean, the two of them, they were together hand in hand. They were so friendly together. Oh, my French accent's all over the place.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
So Washington called about a trade and migration between U.S. President and Donald Trump and French Emmanuel and Macron, and I put too many ands in this sentence. And they soured last week after Macron candidly criticized Trump's policies. Their bromance might be in trouble after a terrible call over tariffs. The terrible is bad. You are grinding the brakes. That was a reference to Northern Exposure that no one will get. Oh well. Then Harvey Weinstein due in court to enter a plea in the rape, sexual assault charges. The first-degree criminal sexual act in the first and third degrees and several degrees of... He will be several degrees of separation from society very soon, I am thinking. And let's see. That's... Well, we can get to one more story, and then I gotta wrap it up. Because There's just nothing. I guess. Hey, I was going to do a shout out to Echo Coffee. Listen, Echo Coffee. Oh, hey, and I hope Sarah Gilbert gets her own spin-off show. I've always liked her. She's like, she is who she is, and I enjoy her. That's all I'm going to say from the Roseanne thing. Echo Coffee makes coffee and tea, and they didn't give me anything for free. Oh, wait, they gave me a couple little cups of whipped cream for free for my wonderful dog, Basil the Boxer. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. So, if you enjoy crepes, they make crepes, and I watched them make a delicious crepe called an Elvis, because it has peanut butter and bananas in it, and then dripping with caramel and whipped cream. Yes, that was my dinner last night. Yes, that was good. And did I like it? Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So that was good. Mueller accuses Paul Manafort of attempted witness tampering. What? Paul Manafort, that guy. This guy. What's up with this guy? Federal prosecutors on Monday accused his former campaign manager, Trump's former campaign manager, Paul Manafort. Does any of this, none of this tracks with the Trump supporters, does it?
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Oh, by the way, big election day in California. Make sure to vote. Even though there's a million things to vote, just vote. Just vote. Just go research. Do a little research and then vote. Spend about half hour, get it done. Oh, Mike, I don't have a half hour to spend today. Okay, well, then just give it to me. I'll fill it out for you. What? No, that's not legal. Okay, just get it done. Get it done. Work a little. If you mess this one up, you've got the one in November, the big one. But there's a lot of things you got to vote on. I'd get on it. Do it. Turn off the podcast now and get on it, is all I'm saying. And then finally, in court documents, prosecutors working for special counsel Mueller said that wait, did I say Mueller? I meant to say
Bueller.
Mueller said that prosecutors working for special counsel Mueller said that violated the terms of Mr. Manafort's release while he awaits trial. They asked a federal judge to revise those terms or send him to jail until trial. Prosecutors said that Mr. Manafort tried to contact witnesses by phone, through an intermediary, and through an encrypted messaging program. One witness told the FBI that Manafort was trying to suborn perjury. Two witnesses provided the texts to the FBI, which also searched Mr. Manafort's cloud-based Apple account. A lawyer for Mr. Manafort did not respond to a message seeking comment. Mr. Manafort served as Trump. And then there was another story, too, as we end the show, about the guy at the shooting in Florida. There was a security guard guy that didn't do anything. And the New York Times has done an article about him. Apparently, he is just not leaving his house. He's holed up in his little duplex that he lives in. And it's very interesting what's happening to him. And I'd go into it now, but I'm waiting for the podcast about it that the Daily will do from the New York Times. But that's just very interesting. They did some reporting on that. The guy is constantly getting berated by news people out in front of his house, the protesters in front of his house. He has some kind neighbors that bring him food that are worried about him. So that's what's going on in the world. A quick little snapshot. But enjoy your day. I hope it's ebullient. Did I use that right? Nah, I'm ebullient. I don't know if the day can be. I hope the day is bright, is what I'm trying to say. Bright and happy for you. And that you don't get in too much graduation gridlock. Next show, we'll have the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!